All right, so today we're talking about solving equations. Let's go ahead and get started on today's notes. All right, so first things first, we want to match this vocabulary with this equation here. So my suggestion would be to pause the video and think about which words go with each part of this equation. All right, so coefficient, that is going to be the 3 here and the 2. All right, so coefficients are any of the numbers that are in front of variables. A variable is going to be any of our letters. So in this case, it would be X. We had A in the equation, would be A or B or C or whatever letter it is. Those are considered variables. Constants, on the other hand, are going to be any of our numbers that do not have letters on them. So -6 and 8 would be considered constants. The last thing we have here is term. All 4 of these would be considered terms. So 3x is a term, 6 is a term, 8 is a term, and 2x is a term. Any of those 4 would be considered terms, but we would not say 3x minus 6 is a term. Only the 3x individually, the -6 individually, the 8 individually, and the 2x individually would be considered a term. Okay, moving on, let's go ahead and solve this equation. Again, I would suggest pausing the video and trying this for yourself first. All right, so for solving this, there are multiple ways that you can solve it. You could start out with putting the x's together or moving the constants to be together. Either way, it does not matter how you start this out. I, in this case, am going to go ahead and start out with moving my x's to the same side. I'm going to take my 2x and I'm going to move to the same side by subtracting it from both sides. When I do that, I get a 1x here on the left. Let's see here. There we go. 1x here on the left minus 6 equals 8. And my 2x's that were here on the right, those have canceled out. So now that I have all my variables on the left side, I need to get all my constants on the right-hand side of this equation. So I'm going to go ahead and take this 6, that's -6. I'm going to do the opposite to move it to the other side by adding 6 to both sides. So that gives me x equals 14. And once I get a 1x, that is how I know I have my final answer. Moving on, we now have this long equation, 2 plus x plus 5 plus x equals 3 plus x plus 9. Now on this equation here, we're going to do something that's called combine like terms. We're going to combine like terms to anything that is similar, anything that is a similar term. So in other words, on the left side of my equal sign, I'm going to combine all my variables together, and I'm going to combine all my constants together. So my constants I have are 2 and 5. Those combine to be 7. The variables I have are x and x. Those are going to combine to be 2x. I still have my equal sign. On the right-hand side, I have 3 and 9 that are like terms. That's going to give me 12. And then I still have an x. I'm now going to continue solving this just like I did on the other problems. Pick either the constants or variables to start with. X equals 5 comes out to be my final answer. All right, you go ahead and you try this problem. All right, so hopefully you have tried to work this out on your own already. Here is where I have gotten to. I combine my like terms, I move my variables to one side, constants to the other. Now I'm on the last step. I need to go ahead and get my X alone. So I have to divide everything by 7 to give me X equals -10/7 as my final answer. All right, next, I have this long problem here, 1 + 3 in parentheses, X - 2 equals 1X + 8. This right here, everybody, is an example where we will need to distribute. And the reason why I know I need to distribute is because I see parentheses. So with parentheses, I need to take what is directly on the outside and only the one term that's on the outside. And that term right there is going to be what I'm going to distribute inside my parentheses. So I'm now going to have on the left-hand side, 1 + 3X - 6 equals 1X + 8. This problem should now be more manageable for you to do. Pause the video and continue solving this. All right, so here's where I've gotten to. After distributing, I combined like terms. I moved my constants over to the right. I moved my variables over to the left. So I currently have 2X equals 13. So for my 2X equals 13, I'm going to get my variable of X alone by dividing by 2. And I get X equals 13/2 as my final answer.